So let's move on at this time and talk about season 2 here in the Alliance and review what's going to happen in this next season. So that hopefully there will be no confusion. And any questions, feel free to ask. So as you know, this year will be a little bit different from last. Instead of having 6 teams this year, as we've had season 2, we will have 8 teams. Man, that's 16 people.
I didn't think that would be possible.
I didn't either, and it's still a slim possibility we may get one more team in, depending on Evan and one of his buddies, but that's probably not going to happen. But we could see this thing grow to maybe 10 teams by next year, and that would be awesome. Especially if we continue to bring people in 10 count. That's what helps us really this, and 10 count's been our foundation. And that's why we've been able to grow so fast and be as productive as we're happy and possible. So that's been awesome. But anyway, so like I said, roster's 8 teams, and there's only 12 pay-per-views in the year, and three pay-per-views will be used for the tournament, just like last year. We had to split up into 2 divisions this year, and we revealed that back the last show, which was after Rumble. Yeah, we didn't do Elimination Chambers since we're doing pre-WrestleMania. The 2 divisions are the Revolution and Dynasty division. I'm not exactly sure of the teams. I know A Squared, PAH, and I can't remember. I know we're in the Dynasty. Yeah. His squad and Team Bring It, which don't know their name.
Yeah, we got their name.
Yeah, Mike and Morris like called M and M at the present time. They are in Dynasty Division. The rest of the teams, boots asses. Sorry about y'all leaving y'all out of points earlier there. Hopefully y'all won't be sticking up my candy. Anyway, you got them. You got Team Heaven. Yes. You got Freedom Fighters. And who's the other team I am leaving out? Oh yeah, Matt Martin, who is Team Purpose. That is the other division. So yeah, we're gonna have 2 divisions this year. Basically, you're gonna face everybody in your division twice. So you'll be facing 3 teams twice for 6 matchups, and then you'll face the other division. So like PAH will face the Revolution division, all 4 teams once. Accumulating to 10 matchups. And then you'll have 2 matchups remaining. But you ask, okay, what happened to the other matchup? We're having at SummerSlam, just like we did this past year, we're having 2 matchups, and we can get all of them in before the Royal Rumble pay-per-view would start the tournament. So that'll give us 10 matchups, and then Rumble, Elimination Chamber, and WrestleMania will be round 1, 2, and the championship of the tournament. So, let's see here. That was a lot to take in. Would you like to add anything to that?
And the cool thing about the tournament is, we should mention that the cool thing about the tournament is, once you're eliminated, you're not out. Once you lose, I should say, you're not out. You do have the opportunity to basically fight for a position. Like obviously, once you go to the championship, the winner will be first, and the loser will be second. But on down from there, like at every pay-per-view, you're going to go against somebody else who lost, and then it's just going to keep going until we decide first who ate. So you can't just be sitting there twiddling your thumbs for 2 pay-per-views if you lose out round 1 at Rumble. And that's something we were, because what we were thinking at one point was, just to do, I think at one time we were thinking about just doing tournament, and just the tournament being a championship. Then we were thinking, well, what do they do once they're eliminated? Why, because you wouldn't be picking for any reason but to pick.
Yeah.
And I told him, the competitor in me wants to pick for a reason.
Right.
So we were talking about back and forth, and finally decided to do, okay, championship ends at TLC, and then you got 3 pay-per-views, and if you lose out, you still compete until you figure out who's first. And I think we're proud of that. We're satisfied with that. And obviously, go ahead and other suggestions.
Right.
But I think it'll work out. I think that's
all right. Yeah, and if you lose in the first round, you still have the potential to finish 5th in the tournament if you continue winning next match. So that's something to play for and compete for. Like I said, if you just one and done, then you're sitting out, from January to May, almost May.
Yeah, almost. Yeah.
So that's several months, and we don't want that. So I'm glad that we came up with that idea. And kind of going into the tournament, like we mentioned, the season championship will be decided tables, ladders, and chairs. We're going to the tournament. All 8 teams will be seated in the tournament according to how they did in the season. Now, we're doing the same thing we did last year. If you win your matchup, you get 2 points. If you lose, you get 0. If you tie, you get 1. Whoever has the most points at the end of at TLC, after TLC, will be the season champion of the season. And then we'll go after that. And we have tiebreakers too that we can explain in another time. But that's how we'll do it. It will not be determined by overall points. We still will keep up with overall points to let you know how everybody's doing. But the seeding, as this year, the seeding for next year will be the same. It'll be determined on your round robin. And like Adam said, teams will keep playing each other in the tournament once you're eliminated for fourth place, fifth place, all that stuff. So that's all I got there. I think I pretty much covered everything. Yeah. And like I said again, don't get confused with the overall points and the round because don't want you to have any confusion there. Because this year, see, the champion will be determined, the overall champion will be determined by overall. Yeah. But next year that will not be the case. The season will end at TLC, the season's done, and the tournament starts. Here the season goes all the way through, even while the tournament. So that's the big.
I don't know that we mentioned that earlier in that it looks like A squared should have that one tied up, unless a big catastrophe happens.
Yeah, we did mention the standings, but yeah, A squared is 27 points ahead of the deal. PAH is a good safe second, and then third place is Team Bring It. Fourth is I think Team Purpose, and then Freedom Fighters is fifth and last.
So how many points do you think they have on the line?
Well, that's a good question, but I'm thinking it would be around 50. I think we put up around 50 points on the line. So it's not.
Y'all have a shot.
Yeah, if y'all win the tournament, then you get 4 extra points. But we do have an outside shot if we run the table, and we probably will pick the bonus and stalemate, or bonus placement. Stalemate is just replacement. We'll definitely pick bonus because it's all or nothing right here at WrestleMania. So, and also how we'll have the seating, it'll be just like in tournament. Basketball or anything else. It'll be 1 versus 8, 2 versus 7, 3 versus 6 for our first. So I think that's all. Man, I'm looking forward to this year.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a big. I think that's gonna be the kind of the
breakout.
Yeah, and look at see where it's at because obviously this year we've had some things. We've had issues and stuff. We've worked through it, and we figured it out. And and like I told Brian, it's not all going to come together in one night.
No.
It's going to take a few seasons to work it out. And I feel like we've taken a big step for season 2. Brian is one of those that's always going to try new things. So
yeah,
season 3 is probably not going to be the same as season 2. It's like season 2 is not going to be exactly it's similar though. Yeah. Season 1, we're going to try things and see what works.
We may switch up the point system at some point.
Yeah, and I think that will be one thing we do look at in the future, just because it is very similar to the 10 count. There's some emphasis on tag teams and whatnot, but overall, it's pretty much similar. So that's a big.
It's just the fantasy points is what really differentiates. It's something I want to kind of talk about in comparison between tag team division and 10 count. And the biggest comparison I think would be, to me, is the picking style, because to me, I'm one who picks pretty safe. You are too.
Yeah.
Tag team division, I feel like, Corey and I, a lot of times we will just say, hey, you know what, kind of like y'all do with Jack Spider, let's just go with this. What do we have to lose? And it's one of those things, you go out on a limb more. And I mean, this tag team division is obviously you want to do well, and it's just as important as 10 count. But when you have a partner, you're more likely to go out on a limb and say, okay, yeah, I didn't look at it this way, or maybe Corey will say something that I didn't think about, or Aaron with you.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't think about it like this. Let's go out on a limb. And I think that's the cool thing about this is it helps you to see stuff from another perspective and from the dynamic of your partners. And it kind of helps. It changes the picking style because you're now picking with someone else and having to compromise and really come to agreements and talk about it. So there's got to be a lot of communication there.
Yeah,
and determined.
And then you throw on top of that the fantasy questions, which are something that you're not going to know the answer to all the time. It's something we'll have to think about and hope we're right. Like, let's face it, there's no guaranteed answer. We don't know when we're making these questions up, how this is going to turn out. Is it going to turn out? There's been questions where we've used them and nobody's gotten points on it, just because, it was we underestimated or we overestimated or whatever.
Yeah.
And so, it's obviously not always going to be a work in progress, but, it's kind of like when you were in math class and, if you had somebody in the same class and we're talking about a math question which y'all had no idea how to solve, you've got to figure something out, and that's how these fantasy questions are. Because I think the fantasy questions are in a world of their own. Yeah. Because the matches, most of the time you got to pick a shot. And sometimes you have a 1 in 4, because it could be fatal later.
Right.
That's 1 in 6. We have the Nation Chamber and then the Rumble 1 in 30. But you're still going to narrow that down to 5 people.
Yeah.
Probably. And so you compromise on those. But when you have fantasy questions where
you have the most tags,
you can't sit there and go, well, here's one, we should go with this. You can't, because
I mean, there's a little bit of strategy to it.
Yeah.
But a lot of it is kind of guessing.
Because, pretty much is. And, I've had some questions where Aaron said, hey, this is why we should go with this.
Sometimes
because in the past, like, for example, it was the question for Elimination Chamber was who will start out in the ring first?
Off an Elimination Chamber match, yeah.
And the Monday before the Elimination Chamber, it was Jericho and Daniel Bryan in a match. Yeah, that's who Aaron said we should go with. And I can't remember who started out the match, but I think it was at least one of those.
It was Daniel Bryan, but I don't think it was Jericho.
Yeah, so...
It may have been, It was one of them.
I can't remember, but he said, typically that would be a good idea to start with those two, and I wasn't down for it. No, so I don't think we got anything.
So he had 2 words for it.
Yeah, but I was wrong. So there's that. So, sometimes you do it down to that team. You're not going to have anything to back you up on why you should go with fantasy questions. So it's harder to go with, to tell somebody that explain something why you want to go with this fantasy question. And I think that's why not as many teams get as many fantasy questions.
Yeah, I know.
Like, for example, I guarantee you WrestleMania is going to be 50 points in the line, but
be around that.
20 points, maybe 30 is the most, I think. You can work that way.
Yeah, 30 is possible, but
30,
yeah.
But that's stretching. I say 20.
Yeah, and that's why we were talking earlier, we're 27 down, so that almost, makes it impossible to come back. Because with these fantasy questions, it's almost impossible to run the table. There's not even been anybody to come close. I think maybe with PAH or somebody else got like all but 5 or 6 points. I think one time I saw that face. We'll have to go back and look at that. But I think somebody almost did it, but I just don't know if it'll ever be done per pay-per-view.
Yeah, I think people will get close, and that's one thing. I mean, because we'll be in line to ever have 100% of pay-per-view.
I think it's possible, but
I think
it's very improbable.
Not so much like maybe a Extreme Rules or, well, not Extreme Rules. I think something like Over the Limit or Over the Limit.
I don't really know because not one Rank's tough.
Yeah, they call it. I think they changed.
Yeah, they changed names so much.
But a pay-per-view like that, sure. But like SummerSlam, Survivor Series, WrestleMania, that's gonna be harder at Royal Rumble because
Money in the Bank.
Yeah, obviously those Extreme Rules.
SummerSlam maybe, but there's a lot of matches.
Yeah, and plus you typically like to do up something because
Yeah.
it should be, bigger.
Should be hyped up a little bit.
Yeah. So it's gonna be tough. It'll be interesting to see who the first team is and how long that takes for the first
Oh
team.
man, I don't know. It's as good as y'all have done this year. I mean, I think y'all have won maybe just more pay-per-view than us,
Yeah.
and y'all have come, I think, close to getting 100%, and unless that was our team. But yeah, I mean, it's gonna be tough, very tough to do. But it'll be interesting to see. So, I think that's all for the hype. We've enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed it. Look forward to WrestleMania this Sunday. A lot of big matches. You got Rock and Cena twice in a lifetime. And then you got Brock and Triple H.
Twice in a lifetime.
Yeah, twice in a lifetime. His career on the line. And then you got the Streak versus CM Punk. You know, a lot of things going on. A lot of points will be on the line for WrestleMania here in the tag team division. And I'm looking forward to next year. Haven't had a lot of surprises too much, but I'm going to try to think of some things and hype some stuff up for next year. You know how I like to do, and hopefully there'll be a lot of surprises and cool things to come here.
Hey, something won't be a surprise. A Squared, the main event on YouTube. Won't be a surprise.
Well, I mean, obviously it's not going to be us.
Well, you did surprise us at Elimination Chamber. Yeah,
We lost. Yeah.
No, actually, to be fair, though,
It wasn't too surprising.
because you got Team Bringing and even Team Perfect. I was sweating it too.
Could have gone either way.
I mean, I joke around on the show a lot. Being with A Squared and all that stuff. Him and Corey do PH.
Yeah.
But when it all comes down to it, you never know.
You're right.
It's just like, that's why you do the matchup, because you don't. Like any other sport.
Oh, yeah.
That's why they do. That's why they play the game. That's why they do it, because you got somebody got to win.
You can't hand it to anybody.
Yeah. And so, team-based game this Sunday. I am excited.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome. To see who wins and the season. I think y'all got it wrapped up, but we'll see if anything exciting happens there as we look forward to season 2. And like I said, WrestleMania is going to be a blast watching it here in Darlene's. Can't wait for that. Season 2, a lot in store. Hopefully some surprises. Can't wait for that either. Ready to get this thing going. That's all, and we will see you after WrestleMania. Break down everything for you. See who won the first ever tournament. Oh, well, we did have a tournament last year, but the first ever tournament in the season, which was won by PAH last year. I would mind to say.
Don't remember that.
Okay,
I'll take your word for it.
We actually now squared out last year.
Well, like I said, we had a poor beginning, but this week came on strong.
Yeah, obviously won like 12 in a row. So. But anyway, we look forward to that, and
until next time.
Get
me baby one more time. Oh, sorry.
Well,
wrong show.
Until next time, people. Wow, that is not good. No, Britney Spears, no. Until next time, believe
the hype.
That's right. See you after Mania.
Come on, I'm sorry.